It's nice to see. Oh, there we go. There's the recording. It's nice to see everyone. And thank you so much for the opportunity to speak with you this evening virtually. We've gotten used to doing things this way. We were joking earlier as folks were signing on, we've all had to figure out the best lighting schemes. I don't quite have it figured out right now. I need one of those. I say I want my like Elizabeth Taylor light on me, but I don't have that. My name is Hallie. I work for Cuyahoga County Public Library. I do marketing work for the system. And I was excited, Dina had reached out and said that you would be interested in hearing a little bit about what the library is up to, and in particular, some resources that might be interesting to this group. So I did put together a little presentation just to share with you a few things that when I consulted with our adult programming team, things that they thought might be interesting. And then I'll run through that, and then I'm happy to answer any questions or book chat with any of you. Please make it a conversation. I'm happy to talk. I've been with the library system. It'll be 10 years next month. And so I love working for Cuyahoga County Public Library. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. So let me see if I can figure out how to share my screen. And here we go. Maybe yes. And let me put it into slideshow mode. Can everybody see that okay? Okay, great. So a little bit about resources from the library. So just a quick overview. I'll give you a little bit about the library system. I don't know how familiar everyone is with Cuyahoga County Public Library. Then I thought I would share a little bit about different library materials, things that you probably would expect from our system, and then maybe a few things that you wouldn't expect. I'll give a few examples of programs that might be interesting and point you to where you can find those things on the library's website. And then just a couple notes about accessibility and options as well that might be interesting. So just a few things to set the table. Cuyahoga County Public Library is, we serve 47 communities across Northeast Ohio. So that is basically the suburbs surrounding the city of Cleveland. The city of Cleveland proper is served by Cleveland Public Library. But the really wonderful thing is that in the state of Ohio, any resident in the state of Ohio can have a library card to any and all public library systems. We are, in fact, very fortunate. Ohio is it's either the only state or one, Hawaii may also do a small portion, but Ohio provides state funding to their public libraries, which is totally unique and wonderful. So if there is anything that our great state of Ohio does well, it is support our public libraries. And so again, the system serves 47 communities through 27 branches. So we are as far west as Bay Village and Olmsted Falls, as far east as out to, I think it is Solon and Gates Mills are at that outer edge, Mayfield, and then as far south as North Royalton and Brecksville Independence. And we're really proud to say that we are the nation's top-rated public library system and have been for the past 12 years. So that is a recognition that we take, very seriously. We are honored to have that recognition, but it really means the way that those counts or that rating is tabulated is based on the way that the community uses the library. So we are #1 in per capita circulation. We have incredible program attendance and great library usage. So that tells us that we're doing something right, that the members of our community use and appreciate and value the public library. And what I don't have on this slide, but am pleased to share, is that this year we are celebrating our 100th anniversary. So it was in 1922 that the state legislature actually created county district library systems, and Cuyahoga County Public Library was the very first county in the state of Ohio to establish a county district system. So a little bit about our history. So I thought I would start today by sharing a bit about library materials. And we think about them sometimes in categories. So there's the content that is for reading that you would, I think, probably expect to find at the library. Increasingly, we have video content, and I'll share a bit about what that looks like. And then you may be surprised to know that the library also has a circulating toy collection. And we are one of the few public library systems in the country to offer that, but it's something that we've had for several decades and have grown over time. And there's material in there, certainly educational, developmentally appropriate material for children. But in fact, some of the toys and games and puzzles in that collection are appropriate for adults as well. So I wanted to highlight some of that. So if we think about the reading material, hopefully you are all, a show of hands, how many folks are Cuyahoga County Public Library or any public library customers? So checking out material, all right, I love it. Well, then you are likely familiar with the breadth of our collection. But I thought I would point out that increasingly, and this was something I just got the latest data from our head of collection development, the large print format is one area where we're seeing growing interest and rising circulation. And so sometimes that is material that is helpful for folks with various, visual challenges, or just makes it more convenient and easier to read. And then our growing robust collection of ebooks and e-audiobooks. And certainly through the pandemic, our digital content has been very popular, and for a period of time was the only material that we could offer when we had to have our branches closed. So we've seen incredible growth in that area. And I thought I would just take a little time this evening and kind of walk you through the steps of accessing that collection. So if this works as I planned it to, I'm going to head to the next slide, and this should, let me just start this over. I did a quick little video to walk through so I wouldn't have any internet interruptions. So let me get it back to the beginning. And so this will walk you through the steps to access the digital content. I'll mute this, but okay. So you can see here on the screen, this is our homepage. This is how you dive into the collection and can access the digital content. Where you will go is over to this read, watch, and listen section. And the video should, any minute now, show us the clicking on that link and where that will take you. So read, watch, and listen. And you click on it, it'll take you into the digital library where you can select ebooks and audiobooks. And right here on the screen, you can see it lists out ebooks, audiobooks. It shows the different platforms. I thought this group, if you haven't been exposed to our audiobooks before, it might be interesting to see them. You can click right there in the middle, listen now, and that will actually take you into our Overdrive portal. Overdrive is the platform that where we keep and have all of our digital content. And when you click on this audiobook section, it automatically takes you right to the audio titles. I highlighted here on this side, you can sort or filter those titles so that you can see what is currently available. If you wanted something immediately and didn't want to have to place something on hold. I have found that I've grown increasingly addicted to audiobooks and always have one kind of ready on my phone. They have been great going for a walk and being able to listen to a story, or better still, for me, they are great when I am doing boring chores like laundry or the dishes. They're infinitely more interesting when I can listen to an audiobook. And so it's easy to access them through our website. And the other way to do it as well is through the libraries. We have an app, and that app is called the Libby app, and that's a direct portal to the content as well. So I wanted to just walk you through that process a little bit. You could see the audiobooks. It's same if you wanted to get an ebook. And again, it's an incredibly convenient way of accessing the collection. Although I recognize some folks still, I'm among them, prefer, you know, the hard copy. I like having that, but it is nice to have that digital as an option. The next area of the collection that I wanted to share with you is our streaming video. And so we offer streaming video through 3 different platforms. They're called Canopy, Hoopla, and Overdrive. Now the trick of this is I have another little quick video tutorial, so I will narrate along while it runs, but just to show you where to go to access that content. And there is some really great video content in there. So let me take you through the steps. So again, back to the library's homepage. We're actually going to go right back to that same section of read, watch, and listen. And so the cursor will head over there, click on it. You go back into that digital library area. But when you go down, there's movies and TV. So clicking on that, it'll take you to a landing page where those 3 platforms that I mentioned are available: Canopy, Hoopla, and Overdrive. And there's a lot of content across those 3 platforms that's the same, but enough amongst them that is in fact different. And the one that I'm highlighting here in the little video is our Canopy collection because it has the broadest array of content and video choices. So there's really great stuff on Canopy. They feature different titles. If anybody has Netflix or Amazon Prime or any sort of streaming service, kind of the same way where they'll do different categories or curated lists. The way to browse through the content, there are featured lists, or you can look through the various genres. And one genre that I thought might be interesting for this group is the instructional video content that is available in Canopy. They have the Great Courses series, which is really incredible. Everything from history to cooking to writing to science, like just really interesting educational content. And it pops back. Another area that I thought might be interesting is their sort of healthy living curated content. And so in here, they have all kinds of different exercise videos. They have even Richard Simmons' old Sweating to the Oldies. It made me laugh when I found that one, like classic. But I thought yoga or Tai Chi, some of these kinds of videos, this is stuff that people are paying Peloton subscriptions for. You can get it for free from the library. It works a lot like any of those streaming services. Different episodes, you click on it, and as soon as you hit, play this episode, the video will start to run, or you can scroll through and see all of the different episodes within any one of those series that looks most interesting to you. So a really, Canopy has been such an awesome service. And I will put in a plug, they also have really great documentaries that you won't find in other places. So if that is up your alley, I encourage you to check it out. And you can stream 50 different titles each month. So hopefully that is more than enough to keep folks interested and occupied. Then the last area of the collection that I just wanted to highlight, because this is one that fewer people tend to know about, but we have a circulating toy collection. And so while it is typically, sort of primarily the content is for families and for kids, we do have a lot within that collection that is games and puzzles that in fact is specialized for adults. So once more, we've got the video. this time we'll go back to read, watch, and listen, which takes you really to all areas of our circulating collection. But when we go in there, you'll see when it comes up that we have an area called out for kids and families. And within that section, there's our toy collection. And so that is actually sort of a separate catalog, which we've arrived at right here. And you can browse through. There's a search box where you can do a keyword search. So puzzles have been a very popular item in our toy collection. And so it'll give you anything that comes up puzzles. And we have puzzles, you know, sort of very simple puzzles for young kids, up through, you know, 500 or 1,000 piece jigsaw puzzles, which are great to be able to check out, because once you've finished a puzzle, you don't want to do it again. So it's nice to be able to borrow them from the library. And then another way of searching through that collection, if you pop back over, we have all of the material, or the toys in the collection, are tagged with you know, different identifying tags. And so we do have a subset that is tagged adult activities. So these are all toys that our collection folks have identified as being relevant for adult audiences. So different games, sometimes we have larger numbers, like this is a larger number edition of a rummy game. And so just a little preview of what that toy collection looks like. Oftentimes adults don't think it is something that is for them, but there actually is a great deal in there between puzzles and games and different things just that are fun for everyone, people of all ages. So that's the end of that video piece. So that's a little bit of a snapshot into the collection, highlighting maybe a few things that hopefully you aren't familiar with, but are familiar with now. And then I just wanted to share a few different programs that we have going on that might be of interest. So one of the things, again, through the pandemic, we started offering at almost every branch at this point, what we call make and takes. So these are little kits that we've put together that have all of the materials that you might need to do a little project. And generally our branches are updating those projects each month. And there are some that are specifically for kids and some that are specifically for adults. But they're little crafts, different projects that you can pick up, take home, work on. And then we always love to see people share when they're done with one of the projects. We do have some adapted programs as well, sensory-friendly programs that are for people of all ages. And then the third area is our online learning collection. So let me just share. So these are just a couple of images. On the left, this is an example of some of the material in one of our make and takes. So this was a little paper like sun catcher to hang in the window. You see it comes with instructions, it comes with the materials for that project. And those are fun just to check out at your local branch each month. The other picture is reflective of one of my favorite areas of programming that we have developed, which is gardening programming. And with the weather, hopefully, maybe getting nicer, finally, this felt like the longest winter. We'll be starting back up with our community garden program. We have an extensive learning garden at our Warrensville Heights branch. And I know we're coming up with a weekly Garden with a Librarian series where you can get out, join them in the garden. It's an opportunity to work on a learning space that the entire community can enjoy, but also pick up some tips and tricks. So I just thought I would highlight that as a nice thing that we have coming up this season. And of course, you know, programming, we have our book clubs. We do have a number of our branches offer film discussions. So if that is something that is interesting to you, you know, we have knitting clubs and so many different things, more than I could say in an entire hour. Frankly, you could give me all night. But I would encourage you to again, check our website. That's where we have our full event listing. Or we produce a quarterly program guide where everything gets listed in there. And author events are back. So, you know, we haven't been able to meet so much in person, but we are now starting back hosting authors in our various branches. So if there's somebody that you love, we have James Patterson coming in June, although I'm sorry to say the event is already sold out. But there are many, many authors who have been anxious to get back out on book tour, and we are anxious to host them. So again, our website lists all of the authors who are coming to visit. One more video. Let me just walk you through this way. So these are, I put them under programs because they're like online classes. And so under the research and discover area of our website, we have online learning. And I just wanted to point out the Creative Bug online learning platform as another area that might be interesting. This is actually a product that Joanne Fabrics created. And so it is a whole library of video content, tutorials, and classes for all different kinds of projects, from art types of projects to cooking kinds of projects. You can see here, you can filter results, you know, whether it's knitting or design or sewing or paper-based crafts. You can filter them by classes for beginners or, you know, a more advanced class series. So there's a great way of searching through this material. And they're just really great little video tutorials. The last area that I wanted to highlight for this group is what we're offering in terms of accessibility. You may or may not be familiar with a program we have called Library to You. And so this is actually for anyone who is homebound or who for a period of time has trouble with transportation, but wants still to be able to access the library collection. You can go online to our website, or you can call your local branch and you can sign up for Library to You service, which means that the material that you request will be delivered directly to your home free of charge. And when you're done with it, it comes in this, you know, bag from the Postal Service. You flip the card back over, you put it back out by your mailbox, and the Postal Service will return it to the library. So if that is ever something that is helpful, again, through the pandemic, we certainly saw more folks taking advantage of that service and want people to know that it is something that's out there. And the last thing on the accessibility front that I want to mention is that for the past month, we have been in preview mode with our new website. So what you saw tonight is our the new version of the library's website. And one of the most important aspects in developing the new website has been making it as accessible as possible for folks. And we really were attentive to ensuring we were developing it in such a way that it was easily readable, so that folks who benefit from using a screen reader would be able to navigate the website easily and hopefully with a lot less frustration than the previous version. So next week, as a matter of fact, the new website will be fully implemented out of preview mode, and hopefully will be more accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to use it. So those are the few things that I just wanted to touch base on tonight. I hope that gave you a little insight into some things the library is doing that maybe you weren't familiar with previously. I'm very happy to answer any questions, or if there's something that I mentioned that you're like, what was that? How did we get to that thing? I'm happy to go back and try to walk you through that as well.
One of the things we used the library for, before Bobby's stroke, she was a nurse practitioner, and she used the audio books. And because she did home care, and in between patients, she'd have the audio books on. And one of them she liked was from James Harriet. And he was a vet.
Yeah.
and it was an English vet. And so he had a different accent, and he would say telly, and he would say, different things. But
Yeah.
he has there's like 10 video or CDs in the book, and you
Oh,
get it from the library and you keep it as long as you want, just keep signing up for it again.
yep.
And she'd run that while she was on her exercise bike, and it was kind of makes it more fun. But with
Yeah.
his personality, plus he was a vet for zoo animals, farm animals. So he'd be talking about doing something and the cow would turn around and look at him funny, and he kind of understood why the cow gave him that look. And it wasn't, none of it was naughty or anything, but he verbalized what you could visualize he was doing, and it was really neat.
Yeah.
And then one of the other things we used was she didn't talk very well. So she would get the CDs for people coming in from another country that needed to learn English.
Yes.
And it would say, the dog ran up the hill. And then she would say, the dog ran up the hill, but it would help you. There's probably 10 different versions of that. So you have to find one you like, trying a couple different things. But that's the advantage of the library. You just take one back. You can take it back early, and then you just sign on another one. And if they don't have one at the branch you're at, we go to Middleburg Heights and Berea branch most.
Yeah.
And if they don't have it, they'll get it from one of the other branches. And if it's outside the library system, they can still get it in and turn it into a library book, and then you can sign that out. And but that was kind of neat for her learning English a little bit more and learn to speak, because I didn't know how to teach her that stuff. I could say, whatever, but
Yeah.
and I would be in the other room and I hear her say, up the hill, and I'd say, huh? And then she'd say, around the corner, and I'd come and see what she's doing. And she's got her headphones on and a CD in her little Walkman, and she's going along with the thing. So that's something that she just, could do on her own, and I didn't have to help her, and it helped her talk more.
Oh, that's awesome. You could have done this presentation. That's
Oh, the other thing we did
Oh.
was a guy was talking, what's that trail walk you did? Where you took off work and you went on that trail, goes from Maine to your Appalachian Trail. Years ago, Bobby did the Appalachian Trail, about a month of it, maybe.
No, it didn't.
But anyway, so they had a presentation at the Berea Library for a guy that recently did that walk. So
Yeah.
Bobby compared when he did it. Now they have little huts there you can sleep in. Before there's just a little roof. And now they have places you can plug in your Wi-Fi and your cell phones, and plug in your GPSs and all this stuff. Where back when she went, it was just nothing. And it was kind of neat going to that presentation. And that was a free presentation. You just have to sign up for it, because a lot of times there's limited space. And it was kind of neat comparing 20 years ago to a guy that just recently did it, and how many things were different. It's so easy now. But that's something we did at the library too.
Oh, that's awesome. I remember that series. It sticks in my head. His name was Bob Grau, I think. And because he visited a lot of our libraries, he through hiked the Appalachian Trail. And I remember joking, because he was coming to a bunch of our branches, and I said he through hiked the Cuyahoga County Public Library system, because he went to a bunch of them. But it was great. I'm so glad that you were able to hear from him and compare it to your experience. And I would say today, one additional thing that might be helpful for folks that would consider doing something like that, the library has Wi-Fi hotspots that we lend out. And so I heard you before talking about camping, and maybe part of that is disconnecting from the digital world. But if you want that connection, we lend out Wi-Fi hotspots. And so anybody can request one of those and check them out, which is, great if you're traveling and you're going somewhere where you won't have a connection, but would like to have one.
Yeah, I do it through my phone, but yeah, not everybody can do it that way, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's great. I'm so glad that, you found different ways to use the library system.
yeah, we did a
Hallie,
lot.
Hallie, I had a question about, I don't know if you covered the locations. I got on a little bit late. Is the Cleveland Libraries in the downtown square part of that? Is that a branch of those two, or is
So,
that a separate system?
So they're a separate system. So this is, this always surprises folks because it surprises me too. We actually have 9 public library systems in Cuyahoga County.
Wow.
So the Cuyahoga County Public Library system has 27 branches, and Cleveland Public Library, which serves the city of Cleveland proper, has 27 as well. And then there are 7 small independent libraries. On the west side, it's Rocky River, Westlake, and Lakewood. And then on the east side, it's Shaker, Cleveland Heights, University Heights, East Cleveland, and Euclid. I think that's everybody. And so, yeah, so the downtown location, main library, that is part of the Cleveland Public Library. Although we do have a greater access card, which means if you have that card, you can sign up with us, and then you can take it to Cleveland Public and you can get signed up on their system and use the one card and be able to access everything.
Okay.
So if I don't already have a card, how do I get one?
Easiest thing, and it's getting even easier, I'm so glad you asked, on our new website, when you navigate right up in the upper right hand corner, you'll see there's an area that says get a card. You can do an online registration. And actually, with this new site, we've got it so it can verify your address. It'll check your digital footprint, and you can get instant access. So that means as soon as you sign up and you're verified, you can access the digital collection like that evening. And then you will get a barcode number delivered to you via email. And the next time you decide to visit a branch, you've got that barcode number. You can print it out or write it down, take it with you. And you're able to check out material. And if you want a physical card, we'll get one mailed out to you. You can specify that. But yeah, you can go right online and get instant access.
Anybody else have anything? Well,
If
this was
you're,
awesome. I don't know how many years ago. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. We had the library. We had the you guys come out. You were physically out back then, and literally, I think you've even grown since then. Like your services are amazing. They like literally this last thing you said. You can get a hotspot. Are you kidding me?
I know. It's been we're so glad to be able to do it. You know, what we saw, we actually had some hotspots available pre-pandemic, but you know, when everything has moved to this virtual environment, not everybody, has that reliable internet connection. So we have been grateful to be able to receive some funding to be able to expand that and make that available to more people. We know digital equity is digital equity is health equity, it's social equity, it's everyone needs it. So that has been really important, and we're happy to be able to provide it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for being and coming and presenting to our group. We really, really appreciate it. And hopefully we can keep in touch and maybe have these talks every couple years so we can keep abreast of what you guys have then.
Absolutely. And I will just one last plug, again, as we're, moving into being able to gather again and doing that, the library branches, we have our meeting room spaces are bookable by the public. So if at some point this group is looking to gather and to find a place to meet, I hope you'll also take advantage of reserving our spaces. And I would be more than happy to come back and chat with you guys at some point in the future. So please do keep in touch.
So the spaces are free?
Oh, yes.
Wow. Interesting. That's nice to know.
I'm going to note that. Yes. People have been begging to meet in person again. So that's so good to know.
Yes,
It-
and Monday through Thursday, we're open till 9 p.m. And we're open 7 days a week. So we're open Saturdays and Sundays as well. So, and it's free.
Awesome, awesome. This is great. Thank you very, very much.
Oh, I have one quick question.
Go ahead, Teresa.
Hey, Hallie, does Cuyahoga County Libraries have any kind of an area that does any kind of hereditary research or anything like that?
So a couple things. Online, we have a whole section on the website that's genealogy research. And
okay.
so ancestry.com is available, and you can actually access that. It used to be only in-branch access, but it's available from home. So we have a whole section of databases on our website where we have that genealogy research. And we do have a few additional genealogy materials at our Fairview Park branch. That's sort of where they live.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, the online stuff, I have kind of gotten into it, and it's remarkable. Like you can pull up, birth certificates and death certificates and census stuff from, the turn of the century. So really interesting. Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you.
That's remarkable.
I wanted to say too, that if you're out for a ride and you go by a library and go, oh shoot, I forgot my library card. I wanted to check on something. You don't need your card. You can go in and tell them who you are. I don't know if they ask for driver's license or whatever, but they kind of know us. So we skip some of that. But you tell them, you want to get this, and they can look you up and use your number that way. And you can sign up something if you forgot your library card.
Yep. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, and I heard you say earlier that Middleburg Heights is one of your favorite branches. That one is a relatively new branch, opened in 2018, and it's so beautiful. And one of my favorite branch managers runs that one. We're not allowed to say we have favorites, but they're a great staff there. And actually, one last plug. On Saturday, we are cutting the ribbon on a new branch in Bay Village, and it is such a stunning building. So if anyone is even just wanting to go out for a drive and check out something new, I'll encourage you to swing by, come out to Bay Village, because it is really beautiful, and it's going to be a gem in our system.
Excellent.
I know where it is. On the way to our Dairy Queen, it's there.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great to speak with you. Have a good evening.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So our next plan is we actually do get to see each other next month.
Hey.
I'm trying to find the email as we're sitting here, but it's with the let me see.
Cleveland Metro Parks. I'll see if I can find it.
And let's see. It is at the, get this. I'm not tech savvy, even though I'm on the computer all day every day of my life. But it's at the Canalway Center, and it's like, she sent me the address, Shannon, and I'll send it to you. It's like,
Yeah, I think I found it on the Google.
did you?
Yeah. So yeah, let me locate it real quick, and I'll share it on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, Canalway. Shoot.
Here, I'll share something while you're doing that.
Okay.
Let's see if I shared it. Share. Can you guys see my screen?
Let's see.
Yes.
Which hopefully not my Excel sheet. Do you see the Cleveland Metro Parks Outdoor Recreation? I have two.
Yes.
So basically, this is what we're going to go, and it's a program called Adaptive Outdoor Recreation Presentation. We're going to go to this Canalway Center, which Shannon found the address. It's like 49th Street or something. Is that what it is?
Yes.
It's a number street. It didn't sound familiar.
Yeah,
it looks like it's on the east side.
Yeah.
And they're going, it's from 5:30 to 6:30, and they give us till 7. All must leave. Look how strict they are. All must leave. You're not allowed to spend the night. Extra time to allow guests to be picked up or whatever. So we have 6:30 to 7 to get picked up. But they said they're gonna, from 5:30 to 5:45, arrive and look at the equipment. 5:45, 6:15, they have a PowerPoint presentation. And then we can have more time to look at the equipment. I saw some pictures online. I did look up like that Canalway Center to see, and they had pictures, and they have it looks like it's pretty nice that we'll be able to touch the adaptive equipment, and they're gonna go over what kind of activities they have available. The emphasis on hand cycling, kayaking, and fishing. So I think it'll be pretty interesting. And then, but at least we get out. If you guys all can get out. So do you want to, here, I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, let me see if I can share mine.
I'll be there.
Yay.
It looks fun. I remember they actually came to us at the Fairview Wellness Center, and it was interesting when they came to us. They brought the canoe in and all that, but then we'll probably see more because we'll be there and they'll have more equipment to show us.
I have like 7 different Chrome accounts open, so let me try this again.
The
Multitask.
other thing with the Metro Parks is they have a bicycle program for disabled people. And
Really?
they should see if they can bring something in from that and talk about that a little bit too.
They could be talking about it. It says emphasis on hand cycling, kayaking, and fishing, but maybe they talk about everything, but we're going to see some hand cycling,
Yeah.
kayaking, and fishing.
So yeah, here's the address is 4524 East 49th Street at the Canalway Center.
Jeez.
And in the email that we sent out, it does have a link. If you click on this, it's a link to the address so you can get to.
Oh, you already sent it out?
Yeah, it's included in the announcement email that I sent out for today's
I didn't look. I didn't
meeting. So it was like underneath the Cuyahoga Library. I said, save the date, first in-person meeting of 2022.
Yep.
So yeah.
And I think it's a good time. Maybe it'll be a nice day, and I think May sounds like it'll be a nice day, possibly.
East 49th Street though.
Yeah.
5:30 and
I'm sorry.
We're not going to that.
Yeah, the East 49th Street throws me off. It sounds like it's downtown Cleveland, but then you look on a map and it's way on the east side.
Is over by the 55th year.
The 55th Pier, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Is that downtown?
Major Park, a couple restaurants all around the river.
It is downtown. Really?
It's by the 55th Marina.
55th Marina.
Oh, that's where our dock, we have a boat dock there, so, but I don't recognize.
Go on the boat.
Oh, yeah, we can just.
Boat rides with Dina, yeah.
Woohoo!
It's not that big. Not a yacht.
Yeah, you got to clear that with Captain Dan.
Back to you.
Yes, I do.
All right. And then our Perkins date is May 14th.
Has anybody, I haven't been able to go, how's they've been going?
At Perkins, you mean? They've been, the first couple meetings, there was like 4 of us and then 5 of us. The one we had 8 of us,
Wow.
but on the average, there's been 5, give or take. So, but you know, it's still trying to get established. A lot of people don't know or
Well,
don't think
that's
about
I
it.
think that's pretty good. I think those numbers are good to start out with.
Yeah.
Perkins puts us on a place where you don't have to go up or down stairs, and they give you tables, not a booth. And then they push whoever's there first, usually it's us, but whoever's there first tells them that 8 to 10 people are coming. So they put all the tables together and then whoever shows up can sit down. So it's been pretty good.
And that's by like, was there a Chili's there or what is over there? It's Olive Garden?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Okay.
Connected to the same, well, there's a drive that connects the two,
Okay.
isn't it? No, it's a driveway next to Perkins and then you have to go out and in.
Okay.
It's by Arby's and crossing Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a gas station there with the U-Haul units there. But it's at Engel and Bagley.
Does anybody else have anything they want to chat about for a few minutes? What's been going on? Anything?
Don't camp it yet, it's too early.
Yeah, it's too early for camping. It's
I
still
know, that
cold.
wouldn't be enjoyable when it's cold. Especially at night. It frosted last night, so.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we had our heater on.
You guys were just extra excited to get out there and get this spring started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're not really roughing it when we go though.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have heat for a while, so that is roughing it.
Yeah, well, we take space heaters along
Yeah.
and we had that.
And you have your dogs, they probably keep you warm, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sleep on the bed. Yeah.
Oh, glamping.
Well, what I was gonna say about 3 years ago, if anybody has any questions about interest about the Metro Parks, the adaptive programs, I did the adaptive kayaking about 3 years ago. And it turns out I was the only person there. I see the instructor and his assistant, and I looked around and I noticed, yeah, I'm the only one here. I said, Matt, just out of curiosity, how many people are coming to this class? He goes, well, it's only you. I'm like, oh, really? A lot of hands-on experience. So there are 2 instructors and me.
That sounds like good.
Oh, it was a blast. It was out in Hinckley because Hinckley has
Yep.
a good river system or a good waterway system. But it was fantastic. Good workout, beautiful day, but definitely worth it.
Yeah. I don't know how, I think I would, I hope the river moved you a little bit because I don't know if I'd be good at keeping it going. I'm not that athletic to keep it moving.
Oh, you think I am?
That's why you want a river that kind of flows, makes you flow a little bit.
We're unmuted. Bobby wants to say something.
Can we do it for ourselves? Like with the things?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why they're like.
Yeah, if you wanted to rent a canoe for Metro Parks, at Rock River, they rent canoes there or kayaks. I'm not sure if they have canoes or kayaks. I think kayaks. But at Rock River Boat Launch at the marina there, they rent kayaks. I'm not sure if you rent canoes.
Do you have air
Life jackets.
jacket? Yeah.
Yeah, you have to wear a life
Well,
jacket.
you don't know.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
We went to Hinckley Lake with the Metro Parks 10 years ago. No, maybe more than that.
Yeah.
About 12, 15 years ago. And they had the World Book of Records for the most kayaks and canoes holding hands or something like that. It was all one big group. And they had an airplane fly over and take a picture of us. And they had a guy in a pontoon boat with a megaphone. And he's saying, okay, everybody hold on, here comes the airplane. And next thing you know, the airplane's flying over and he goes, he's gonna make one more pass, hold on. And we ended up in the World Book of Records. And you can see this little, I forget, what was it, a red canoe with a green shirt or something? We could pick us out, but we were like a 16th of an inch big. It was kind of funny. So, but yeah, that was at Hinckley Lake at Metro Parks.
Very
You're
cool.
famous.
Very cool.
All right, well, let's get ready for our next in-person meeting. It's gonna be fun.
Yes.
Since Charlie's, I think, well, you guys, some of you have seen each other at Perkins, but I think our Charlie's was our biggest thing. in person last, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Dina,
did
I
have
think you
a
said-
picnic, but we didn't have as much of a turnout at the picnic as we did it at O'Charlie's.
Oh, okay.
And I think I heard you say, Dina, we need to go back to O'Charlie's.
We can go back to, absolutely go back to O'Charlie's. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
That can be our next,
Seed planting.
yes,
okay.
yes.
Do it in a little warmer weather and we can sit outside.
There
We
we
could.
go.
That's actually a really good idea.
And I think it's very cool that the library does have meeting rooms available.
Yeah.
And he said,
That's
you know,
exciting.
it was going through my head. I'm like, there's no way, because I know we have a Strongsville, Cuyahoga County Library, and their meeting rooms are like super nice. And I'm like, as she's talking, I'm like, I should ask. No, there's no way they're free. I was thinking in my head, there's no way they're
We
free.
were there,
Right.
Michael. We were.
I think
Yeah.
Damon
Yeah.
had a question.
Yes. For the lunch, do you mind if with us expect
I'm sorry, you went muted again. What happened?
to do Charlie? Let's try to do something else
Like,
instead of sticking with one. You may find another one you like.
like another meeting?
I mean, yeah. Instead of Charlie on it, just me.
Well, no, I think we were choosing O'Charlie's because Dina's got connections at O'Charlie's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you go.
Oh, yeah, it was
Keyword.
free.
That's why that was our place of choice.
Yeah, free is a good word.
Yeah.
Free.
That one of my favorite words.
Exactly. Free. All right, everybody have a good evening, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I love the library. I love walking in the library. I think it smells good. I just love everything. Don't you guys love the smell of books and?
Uh-huh.
I tell you what, when they had the shutdown of the virus, when the library was open for a couple hours, the first day it was packed.
Oh, was it?
A lot bit outside waiting to get in.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Good for
they
them.
missed- yeah.
All right, everybody have a good night and a good rest of the month and
All
start
right.
of
Thank
next
you,
month.
Dina.
Bye.